This particular piece and presentation is going to be dedicated to all the nation's teachers who made the doctors, pharmacists, nurses, accountants, attorneys. Teachers who in reality put your children before their own. Teachers who work even when they're not paid. Teachers who make a difference. Teachers who in reality made the heroes that help us get through this pandemic. Teachers who are forgotten heroes. Teachers you trust your children with from 8 to 10 hours a day. Teachers who make less than Dallas Cowboys Prescott and yet entertain the community much more and do it in longer periods of time. Teachers, without you, teachers, there would be no doctors, engineers, and attorneys, and so much more. Harassment. The title, Continuously Committed by Idea Public Schools. Your presenter, myself, Miss Christina Reyna. In this picture, you have the original certified envelope. Legal jargon today that was provided by West is harassment. Harassment in a sum and not written is something that is annoying, done wrongfully, in action to another. Libel is actually a tort, a wrongful doing to someone, an organization. It is a libel, civil law, a tort, something that is suable for. Libel is consistent of two things. Slander is one, defamation is another, meaning that there are false statements and false claims. Harassment. Harassment can be used, the title of this topic, in criminal law. It is actually a misdemeanor charge under Texas Penal Code Chapter 32. In civil law, it is a tort. A wrongful doing is contended with libelous, false statements, claims, and defamatory actions. A wrongful doing, illegal, and for reference, the Civil Rights Act. In these pictures, we have one, Idea Public Schools, perhaps a teacher lounge, and the harassment charges by the book. Thank you, West, for your information. In the middle, we had presented that harassment can be presented and charged civilly in both ways. The laws that apply. Now, false statements and claims. This is for page labeled 111 or 111. Again, false statements and claims for page label 111. Statement 1, quote, content online defaming Idea Public Schools. Falsely, dishonestly, making claims of fraud and other alleged wrongdoings is statement 1 that is false. Statement 2, in which you make base claims against Idea Public Schools. Statement 2, that is false. You use Idea copywritten logo. There is no copywritten logo and no sign that it has been registered, because if not, it would be marked. And photography, photographs, there is no copyright at the bottom of Idea Public Schools page, web page, or any of their social media content, nor on the federal page for reference. That is our third or fourth false statement, just in this first page. Then you appear to have a YouTube channel made. I don't believe you saw or witnessed it, but if I appear, it may be possible an assumption. False statement. False claim. The sole purpose of defaming idea. False claim. False statement. You are claiming that I, Miss Reina, am doing this for defaming idea. You are stating that I committed these actions for wrongful, malicious doing. These statements are false, and you'll see this as we continue. To the left, you have under the About tab to the YouTube channel, what the YouTube channel purpose, intentions is for. It is the truth. There is evidence. This is public, for the public to be informed that white-collar criminals exist or existed and still in the educational entity named Idea Public Schools. This is also protected by my First Amendment of the United States Constitution. To the right, some encouragement. It is also under Texas Administration Code, Educator Ethics, to make sure that the truth is reported. Making a false statement or any type of report would actually be a criminal offense. Again, this is protected by the United States Constitution, Article 6, Amendment 1. Here are the YouTube videos. At 22 minutes and 7 seconds, Idea Public Schools, libel, deceit, and breaches of contract. At 6 minutes and 44 seconds, July 2nd, 2021, Idea Public Schools, false advertising. At 13 seconds, Idea Public Schools, employee retaliation, July 2nd, 2021. At 1 minute, 5 seconds, Idea Public Schools is not 100%. June 30th, 2021. Idea Public Schools discriminates. And I don't know the rest of the title. Idea Public Schools, employee discrimination. One may be the evidence, the other one may be an interjection. They were both published June 30th, 2021. In the first video at the top at 22 minutes and 7 seconds, for witness is the state of Texas. Published July 2nd at 6 minutes and 44 seconds. They are misleading. They are false. Therefore, it is false advertising. At 13 seconds, employee retaliation solely because employees of Idea Public Schools did not follow their own policy even after being told, or the law, when they stood corrected. Idea Public Schools is not 100% college acceptances, a testimony by Mr. Torkelson himself. The factual and authentic evidence is available for viewing, whether you would like a soft copy, digital copy, or a hard copy. And by definition of discrimination, legal definition, our last video. So, Attorney Ramirez, when you state that there is no evidence and not supported claims, there is more than enough evidence, including the state of Texas, as a witness. Now, I've highlighted some things here for false statements and claims on page 112 or 112, as it's labeled at the bottom. And this video is not found. I'm going to go back. And then we have some other false statements that you make, saying video cited, you make false claims against Idea Public Schools. I don't make any false claims. By legal definition, it's discrimination. You mistake or simply misunderstand actual Texas law. Texas law is clearly stated in their actual books, and they're published by West. The regulations are actually what the agencies do, like TEA, what agencies like the EEOC do. They regulate what you guys do. Now, you continue that statement, 1, 2, 3 in one page, to send, quote, communications to IDEA employees. I continue until you have, without a doubt, witness to that I am doing this, Attorney Ramirez. I suggest you don't make any assumptions. For further, you have IDEA public schools, scholar deceit. It is 10 minutes, 19 seconds. It was published August 14th of 2021. At 13 minutes, 56 seconds, you have IDEA public schools employer discrimination. It was published August 14, 2021. At 13 minutes, 15 seconds, you have IDEA public schools false advertising. They are false statements. It is deceit, because these are things that are reported to the state in which IDEA receives money, federal grants from. And again, you have Mr. Tom Torkelson's testimony, or Thomas E. Torkelson by legal name. And at the very bottom, published August the 6th of 2021. It is 21 minutes and 52 seconds. IDEA public schools and legal representation. This with actually a federal judge or a judge as a witness, the legal malpractice, the defamation, the libel, the slander, the deceit in general. Perhaps the only person that may misunderstand or Texas law in general may be someone who needs to read it again. Because these false statements and claims on page labeled 113, Mr. Jose Ramirez IV, who attended Columbia University, I am hereby directly, immediately to seize and stop, basically, is what you're telling me. And I'm going to go back because I'm not going to stop. I am not harassing anyone because this is not malicious and this is not false. I am practicing my First Amendment right, freedom of speech. It is not threatening anyone. It is solely completing my duty as a public servant and teacher and a certified teacher under the Texas Administration Code. I'm going to go back. So let's count your false statements, your false claims, Attorney Ramirez. My unsupported claims, I have for you printed out every supported claim, have already verified the information authentically. All right. So you're not only asking for me or trying to infringe my First Amendment right, but you're also asking in this letter for me to commit a crime and not report the fraud, the deceit. Now, you continue to spam IDEA public school email. There is a spam button on your email for preferences that you can press. The lack that you know how to use it is not my fault or anybody else's. If it is spam, you can mark it spam. You have a choice. It is harassing. It is not harassing. It is factual. It is truth. It is disruptive. If it is disruptive, then perhaps you need to speak to your technology department and learn to use your settings a bit better. Then you also need to be able to prove who's sending them. That's the second part that would be false, or your assumption, not a factual statement. And I am directed to send to that particular email, no other emails from me will be reviewed or responded to. You're required by law, the TEA, Texas Administration Code, to respond, to provide legally my teacher service records, the corrected ones, because those were false too. The corrected, evaluations that I have the rights to and which you have not done. So that you say that no other emails will be reviewed or responded to is already you saying that, hey, you're gonna break the law again. And I will do my duty as I need to. Wrongful employer practices. This whole presentation. This has been a practice for IDEA Public Schools since Miss Christina Reyna was in El Paso, being screamed at in front of parents for being late to a lunch duty. And that's because she was in the restroom. Reprimanded in front of colleagues for assumptions at the NAP Conference Center when they had pre-K cohort. When Miss Reyna was wrongfully terminated June 28th of 2019, when IDEA Public Schools persisted in battering Miss Reyna to state what was the factor to leave on a survey, quote unquote, then present day with this particular letter. Again, which is falsely stated in falsely claimed in more than one occurrence. For proof, the actual emails and text messages from IDEA Public School servers, as you can see at the very top, and exactly what they say. Wrongful employer practices. Asking Ms. Reyna to cease or to stop facts is an infringement of her freedom of speech, the First Amendment right under the U.S. Constitution. It is also asking Ms. Reyna not to complete her civil duty in reporting this deceit, a crime and unethical in Texas. Again, the only one that might misunderstand the laws of the state may need to go over them again. And I'm more than welcome to provide you with the books. Again, all in all, this letter is false, wrongful information about Ms. Reyna or about the YouTube channel that was established, which encloses description and true purpose under the about. Thereby, this is defamation or defamatory. In all my endeavors, in all her endeavors professionally, this is harassment, a libelous tort, a criminal action in more than one context of law, as it is annoying, uncalled for, persistent. Also, you know what? This is the part that my doctors can testify. Over 4 doctors can testify. Mentally abusive. Behavior that affects Ms. Reyna, her health and well-being. Those medical records are public. Those medical records, I've signed consent for everyone to see. Here's the evidence. IDEA Public Schools under the Employer Liability Act, under Texas and Federal Torts Claims Acts, under a whole bunch of them, of harassment, the evidence of wrongdoing, the actual testimony from one of their chairs that this is a practice of IDEA Public Schools and has been. This in general, harassment, deceit, false statements, false claims. This to close defames every part in any professional career I choose to obtain. That includes being a CEO. That includes being a lawyer, an attorney. That includes being a teacher certified in the state of Texas. That includes being anything else that I may choose to endeavor, including an electrical engineer professionally, averaging about $100,000 a year. These claims, you can refer to Attorney Zamora. I have personally selected Attorney Zamora. It is his selection whether to do this or not, and I respect him. But Attorney Zamora would be someone, Attorney Ramirez, that I would recommend any day of the week before I would recommend the work that you have done and shown.